Guys, welcome to the Cardone University Wednesday Mastermind Call. Appreciate you guys being here every single week. My name's Steve Spray, coming to you live from the studios here in Miami, Florida. Guys, give us a call in today. We're looking for callers. We want to help you guys out. So we got a lot of things to cover today on the call. Number one, I'm going to cover some successes, man, because we got a lot of people doing some big things. Big things. I got some big numbers. And what we also want to cover today's topic is we're going to put it around the trial close. So we're going to talk about how to transition from your pitch into the close. And so, of course, in the program, Grant covers this very specifically. And so there's a lot of steps. There's a lot of materials. And people always have questions about, what's it look like when I'm doing my pitch? But how do I know when it's time to say, hey, you ready to buy? And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about transitioning from your pitch all the way into the close. So guys, if you want to call in to 305-865-8668. My name's Steve Spray. I'm going to be able to help you out today. We're going to cover any problems that you guys want. So what happens every single week is we come to you live on this Wednesday call because when we opened up the Cardone University, what Grant wanted was he wanted people to be able to have a place where they could call into, where they could actually come, they could have a place where they can ask questions, where they can take this content, this $1 million program. I mean, there's so many people behind the scenes actually building this program. You got Grant with his 30 years of experience in sales, training, closing content, negotiating, follow-up, where he's actually taken this program and put it together in a way for you as a salesperson to be able to learn and grow from it at a lot quicker rate. And so we want to make sure that we're taking the material and providing it to you and your business. And so that's what we do here every single Wednesday. My name's Steve Spray. If you guys have questions, call in to 305-865-8668. Or if you guys are on the website, you guys can post questions in the comments. So appreciate you guys being here. Man, first thing that I want to talk about on this program, John, you hear it every single week, man. We talk about, big successes. There's a lot of people doing unbelievable things, and it's because, they made the first commitment to saying, I'm going to get better. The opportunity's there. That's why they made the investment. That's why your company made the investment in you. And so that's what happens. They make the commitment, and then they dig into, hey, how do I get better? How do I actually train? And so that's what I'm going to cover today. But I wanted to give a shout out to a couple of big groups out here. We had a store, McAlpine Ford, unbelievable store. So they've been on our program for over 12 months. They've been training with Grant Cardone's content, training their salespeople. Their managers, what their managers have done is utilize the boot camp trainings that we've set up. And so if you guys don't know what the boot camps are, these are very specific, weekly tailored courses that are put together to build a skill. So what they've done, they've increased their sales volume 10% year over year, which is a huge number. So really big for them. But here's the kicker on that. They're up right now in gross per deal $1,000 per unit. Man, there's some salespeople making some jack over there right now, right? So what they're doing is they're actually taking the Cardone University content. They're using it. Management's using the boot camp training. And so if you guys want help with that, feel free to call the offices so that we can make sure you guys are maximizing the material. So guys, today on the call, what we're going to cover, we're going to cover transitioning from the sales process going into the close, okay? That's a lot of questions, Hey, when's the right time? How do I know? And how do I get the information out of the program? And so that's what we're going to cover. Also, I want to talk about a company, RB Cars, man. Unbelievable, these guys. These guys have been crushing it. RB Cars, they're up 1,500 to 2,000 in some cases per copy on every single deal they've been doing. So if you guys see this and you know that, hey, in our transactions, look, we want to hold more gross. Look, call our office so we can tell you exactly what we're doing with this group. There's a specific sequence of training that we're giving people to be able to learn this. And so, whether it's you want to increase the volume of number of products or opportunities of your service that you want to sell to, or if it's just you want to increase the amount of money you're making per deal, hey, look, send it in. Let us know. That way we can get you in the right spot inside the Cardone University. So we're definitely going to take some callers today. Definitely going to answer some questions. We do this every single Wednesday so we can help you guys out. But what I want to talk about inside the training center, when you go inside training center, Okay, so I think most people, whenever they go in, they want to get their head right first, so they learn the selling basics. Okay, this is the recommended formula that we teach you. 6 training segments every day, going left to right, top to bottom in the program. Selling basics is getting you right. It's getting the salesperson right. That's understanding what you need to do and how to buy and create time to be able to apply the massive action Grant Cardone talks about. You probably read one of his books, 10X Rule. Okay, how do I apply it? That's found inside Selling Basics. Then what you want to be able to do is take responsibility for the client, the customer. If you can understand the customer, if you know what's going on with them, dude, you got a better opportunity of closing the deal. That's what understanding the buyer is. But this week, what we're going to look at is going to be a little bit deeper inside the sales process. So once you've figured out, hey, I've got me right, I understand what's going on with the customer. Now I'm ready to get my pitch right. Now I'm ready to be able to figure out, hey, what happens in the actual sales process? All the way from understanding the sales process to get my attitude right, all the way down to a place where I'm handing somebody an agreement and I'm expecting to say, hey, look, you ready to do the deal? And that's what the write-up is. What we're going to talk about today, I want to talk about transitioning all the way from this place right here, right? So there's going to be very specific things that happen in your sales process, and you're going to find those inside sales process inside the program. So there's 5 different things that are going to be inside every sales process. Like yours could be 5 steps, yours could be 10 steps, yours could be 15 steps. In every single sales process, there's always going to be a meet and greet. Okay, there's always definitely going to be a meet and greet. Then there's always going to be some sort of fact finding or appraisal of some sort. Hey, have you done this before? Why are you here? Why today? Why now? And so you're going to find that material inside there. There's going to be a demonstration. You've always got to be able to just demonstrate your product. So if you want to learn how to master that demonstration, how to be able to put the super freak presentation on that Grant talks about inside the program, that's where you're going to learn it. The next transition is going to be into the write-up, where I'm actually giving somebody a proposal. And so that's what I want to cover inside today's call. And then I'm going to answer some questions. So if you guys want to call in, 305-865-8668, and I'm going to get that handled for you. So if you guys click inside write-up, inside sales process, there's 6 different courses. Now, these are very specific. Okay, these are very specific. So now you're to a place where, I figured out, hey, I got the guy. I'm past the cold call. We went through the fact finding. He set up the demonstration. Now I'm pitching the deal to the guy. Okay. I've done my pitch. I've shown him a product. I've shown him my service. I've told him, hey, this is what we do. This is how we can help you out. Dropping the big claims on the guy. Now I'm to a place where I'm going to transition that. And I'm going to say, hey, what do you like best about what you've seen so far? Okay, that's one way to be able to transition in that. Now I'm into a place to start asking, questions that I can actually see, like, hey, where's this guy at? Do I need to pitch my deal a little bit more? Or can I say, hey, have you seen enough to make a decision? So the write-up, if you guys go inside here, John, if you want to go ahead and show the screen, what happens is, number one, Grant's going to teach you about the write-up. This is, when the proposal comes up, what happens when we're in this transition? Okay, there's a lot of things happening during this transition, and it's a very tight window. And so what you want to be able to do is be able to get everything tight inside your process. So you're going to learn about the introduction of the write-up. Grant's going to talk to you about this. This is the proposal piece. Then Grant's going to talk to you about, hey, what excuses might you hear why somebody, they looked at your product, they looked at your service, and maybe now they're like, don't give me numbers yet. We're not really ready. We're not there. That could happen. But if you don't know what excuses to expect, then you're not going to know exactly what to do. Then Grant starts diving into how to actually increase the amount of proposals that you send out. Okay? You probably talk to a lot of people. Maybe you make a lot of phone calls every day. You've got a lot of opportunities, but what you're trying to figure out right now, hey, I can't get a deal done if I don't have a proposal in front of somebody. So how do I actually get and increase my write-ups? How do I increase my proposals? Grant's going to cover it right here in the program. Okay, he's going to walk you through those steps. Look, there's a few things that you got to know. And so you've probably started to notice that in every single training category that we have in here, there's segments that are based off, number one, hey, how to understand it up front. Number two, what do I do? What are the steps? And 3, how do I know what mistakes may be made? That way I don't make them. Okay, because if you don't want to make those mistakes, you got to know about them first, right? And so the last pieces that you're going to see right here John, if you just want to go right into that, we're going to go into the mistakes. Understand these before you pitch your deal, guys. Look, you may want to look at these every single month. I mean, this is something I always go back to. This is something that I'm always looking at. And then now what we're starting to do is we're starting to get down to the assumptions. Grant's going to start giving you questions. He's going to start giving you answers. Hey, here's what you want to say to the customer. Here is a question that is very low risk. Okay, why do I want a low risk question at this point in the stage? I haven't even given him the contract yet. So I want to be able to ask him these questions. And then the last piece, look, you got to know what objections people are going to give you. If you are not prepared for these things in your transition, man, it's going to be tough for you. It's going to be very tough for you to be able to get more contracts out to the customers in front of them. And look, contracts are going to equal deals. The more contracts you get out, the people who care more about their closing ratios, look, they're not getting a lot of deals. So what we want to be able to do is help you guys out. So I want you to call in with questions. Call into 305-865-8668. What we want to be able to do is answer the question that you have. Okay, I got my guy David. I know he's on the line from Poland, man. This guy right here is committed every single week, exactly like you guys should be. So I'm going to go ahead and take a call from David. David, how you doing today, sir?
Hi, Steve. This is David.
What's up, man? It's good to hear from you.
Thanks for having me on the show. It's also good to hear from you.
Hey, David, for the people who don't know who you are, could you go ahead and actually tell them a little bit about yourself real quick? I mean, who are you?
Yeah. My name is David, and I'm calling from Poland, and I'm an insurance agent in Prudential company.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get clients.
So what question do you have? What challenges are you facing right now inside your business?
Yeah, I have an issue here in handling price in the greeting. I've noticed that Grant suggests that instead of saying exact number, you should say something like, "I'll be happy to give you the price." But recently, I thought that when I give the price in exact number, it would be also a good idea.
Well, you don't have an exact number, right? Because you sell insurance.
Yeah, but I can assume some number. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so what you could do now is you could probably give a range. So what I would do in that case, if you want to be able to drop that in, what Grant's talking about is, look, what's the first rule of selling?
Agree.
Always agree. Guy is in the greeting. He's on the phone call. He's asking, hey, man, I just want to get a good idea of what my payments are going to be before I even go through this process, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the sales process, right? So John, if you want to show this, I'm going to click back inside sales process for you guys. And I want to show you guys what David's talking about. So there's an entire course category right here that's called objections in the greeting. Now, this is very, very important for you to really understand, because the greeting is the first step inside your sales process. And most people get objections right up front. They don't even know how to handle. And so what they automatically do is they discount it. They're like, oh, that guy wasn't a deal anyways. Dude, he was willing to greet you. He was a deal. He was an opportunity. He was a deal for you, but you got to know how to handle it. So what I want you to do is get a real good handle on what Grant's talking about in these courses, right? And so what he's going to do is he's going to break down all of the different objections that people give you right up front. And so, David, what he's talking about is he's saying, hey, look, we're going to give him a price. We're going to give him a range. So maybe we want to tell him, hey, look, absolutely, I'm definitely going to give you the price. We're going to get you all the prices. I'm going to get you all the quotes. I'm probably going to give you 3 or 4 different options. Let me ask you, have you done something like this before? When was the last time you got a quote?
Yeah.
Hey, on this new quote, what are you going to be looking for, right? So I'm going to agree with the guy. And if I want to drop a price in, I can definitely do that. So what would be like a range that you would give somebody? Hey, our average client, they typically see what would you tell somebody in that case?
Yeah, it's between, I guess it will cost you at least 200, something like that, 200.
Yeah, $200. Hey, man, our average client sees about $200 per month. Let me ask you this: how much are you paying right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're probably not paying anything because they don't have insurance. So.
Yeah, they don't have insurance.
Yeah.
Good. So what we're going to be able to do, excellent, sir. Hey, look, I'm going to show you a couple different options. That way you can stretch the payments out. There's different types of premiums that you can get. You can go with the higher deal. You can go with a lower payment option, or we've got a couple different opportunities I think you may be interested in. When was the last time that you got a quote for insurance? Okay. I want to ask that question because I want to find out where this guy's at. Or am I the first person he's talking to? These are all the fact-finding questions that you're going to find in the next step inside sales process. John, if you want to go back to that. What happens is that, look, inside objections in the greeting, I'm going to handle those, right? What was the objection? It wasn't even really an objection. Grant's going to tell you that, hey, it's actually just a complaint. It's really just a complaint that he's basically going to say, hey, I want to get the best price. What price do you guys have? So he's going to give you the complaint, right? And you're going to agree with them and tell them, hey, absolutely, sir, I'm going to give you all the price. I'm going to give you 3 or 4 different options if that's okay with you. Hey, let me ask you this. Now I'm transitioning into the fact finding, right? So most people, they want to go straight to the fact finding, but they never solve the challenge that happens right here. They just bypass it. And then what happens is the client's like, hey, dude, did you even hear what I said? Dude, I want to get some payments. You know? And so, look, man, it's even if you can't give them payments, let them know, hey, dude, done. I'm happy to do that. I'm going to get them all for you. Hey, if you're okay with it, I'm going to give you more payments than you can even handle. Okay? How about 12 different options? Okay, I'm going to get those for you today. You pick which one works best for you. Okay? Let me ask you this. Now I'm going to transition into the next step, which is the fact finding. Once you get past fact finding, your next step is, dude, how do I present my deal? John, I want you to show this right here. Presentation. Next step. How do I present my deal in a way that even if this person who's getting 10 different quotes right now, this instant, how am I going to be able to set myself apart from every other presentation that's going to be able to happen that's out there? Okay. If you don't practice on this, guys, look, 6 training segments every single day. How many times am I going to want to be able to go through this every single month? You go through this segment one time and then you don't go through it again. There's opportunities that are going to be missed. You're going to get a little bit lazy on your presentation. So you want to be able to go in. What we're always doing in our office is we're always looking at, hey, what's our presentation look like? We're listening to the calls. So when you listen to the calls, that's perfect because now you can find out, hey, what do I sound like? How does this match up compared to what Grant's talking about inside these courses, right? How do I tighten my presentation up and really break it up into different segments so that I can start asking people some of these, potentially buying questions that I may want to be able to pepper in all throughout my presentation. Grant's going to teach you that inside the program right there. And then the next step, of course, would be transitioning into what I talked about from the very beginning here, which is the write-up. So there's going to be trial closes. There's going to be different questions to ask. There are going to be very specific things. These pieces right here, guys, are so vital inside your presentation. Most salespeople never get to them. What happens typically is most people believe so much in their product that they're thinking, dude, if I just show it to him, he should buy, right? It should just make sense that, hey, our deal is so good that if I show it to somebody and they don't want to do it, dude, they were never going to do it. Dude, that is the wrong thinking. That is the absolute wrong thinking. You're missing an entire step. You're missing an entire transition piece in your process. And most salespeople do that. And so I'm going to take another call. I'm going to take it from Dennis in Canada. Dennis, how you doing today, sir?
Good.
What's up, man? Hey, can you tell everybody who you are?
Yeah, I'm Dennis. I'm calling from Toronto, Canada.
Appreciate you calling in, Dennis. What type of business are you in?
I am in the tire business, and we wholesale. We're the middle guy between the manufacturer and the retailer.
Okay.
My position, they call it a sales and account manager. So the sales portion of it's easy. You go in, you got something on special, or we got something we need to get rid of, and you go through all your closes and such.
Uh-huh.
The account management is the part that I'm kind of struggling with to see how it goes hand in hand with the rest of it.
Okay. What challenges are you facing in your job right now?
See, and that's
what challenges are you
part
facing?
Of the issue.
Yeah.
That's part. I don't know. I know I'm having a hard time. The sales portion of it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's the account management. How do I synchronize the two together?
Oh, perfect. So you've got a good opportunity. So you're sitting in an account management position right now, and then you got an opportunity throughout your day to maybe switch hats into a salesperson role where you can actually pitch a product or maybe an extra upsell to a client. Is that what your position is?
Yeah, you got it exactly.
Perfect. Awesome, man. And so like if I, let's just say that me and you switch places, man. You came down here in Miami and you got in front of the camera to help out a bunch of Grant Cardone clients. And I switched spots with you and I went up there to work for you in Canada. What would be the hardest part about my job?
What would be the hardest part about the job? I think once you get in front of an individual client, it's having that trust and relationship to be able to go in there and say, hey, here's what you need. I'm not waiting for them to tell me what they need or what they think they need. I want to go in there and tell them what I know that they need.
Right. Well, you're the expert, right?
Supposed to be.
Yeah, good. So is there a piece that you're missing out of understanding your product, or is it the communication of you know everything about the product? Your challenge is that, hey, look, I just got a hard time at really like transitioning that great knowledge that I have about the tires and this tire market and being able to really flip it over to somebody and let them know that, like, hey man, I'm the expert, I'm the guy, I'm the deal, and this is what you need to do. I need to see that. I need this client to be able to see that, hey, look, dude, this recommendation that Dennis has given is something that we really need to consider for the business. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where it is. It's not the communication.
Right. Okay. And so for most salespeople, that is the biggest problem. And that's why the Cardone University is there. And that's why daily training every day. When I first got in sales, I was really terrible at that position. I knew everything about the product because I was always studying it. And then I found out that, hey, the hardest part for me is really transitioning. So I'm actually really glad that you called in with this, Dennis, because what happens is, number one, up here at the very top, John, if you want to go and show my screen, what Dennis is talking about is, look, number one, I need to figure out what's happening with me inside Selling Basics and then understanding the buyer. Look, I need to know what the customer is really thinking so that I can pitch them my product. And this is where we're inside the sales process. So Dennis, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take the Cardone University. I want you to write out your sales process, okay? And I want you to write out all the steps. So if you don't know what the steps are in your sales process, I want you to go to Road to the Sale. And when you go to Road to the Sale, I need you to actually learn this, because what Grant's going to teach you inside the program is how to understand what's happening in the process so that you can deliver exactly what you feel about your product. Because look, man, you're the expert. You're the guy. You're the one who knows the deal. Okay, it's like, I know a lot of people who are in the, the fitness. They do fitness. They're personal trainers. But their deal, they're all ripped up and they look all good and they know their deal so well. Their problem is that they don't know how to get other people to really believe that, hey, look, you can do this too. Let me show you how. I know the steps. So for you, it's learning how to become a master salesperson. Okay, I'm going to give you the formula. It's 6 training segments every single day. And it's really going through this content that we're looking at right here. Number one, you got to understand what the steps in your sales process is. And so for you, now what you're going to be able to do after you go through the Road to the Sale and you write down all your steps and you've identified, hey, this is what my process looks like. I'm an account manager. I'm operating from a place where I'm talking to clients, and then I'm going to transition into maybe a sale, right? And so maybe you're in a different part of the sales process. I want you to train on these courses right here, and I want you to find out, hey, what's it look like when I'm greeting with a customer? And then how do I transition into a place where maybe they don't think they're inside a place where they're in a buying position because I'm not a salesperson. I don't wear a sales hat. But if I get these fact-finding questions right, inside fact-find, if you guys are watching this screen right here, what you're going to see is that, look, this is the transition. This is the transition point where I can ask them, hey, let me ask you this. Now, blah, blah, blah. That's where you want to go in. You want to make sure that all of these questions right here are lined up with your products. Like, just plug your buzzwords in. You know everything about the tire industry. You know everything about exactly what your client needs, but you got to be able to transition into it. The way that you get somebody to understand why they need you, why they need Dennis, and why they need your product is being able to get them to understand it and really duplicate it in their mind. You do that with questions, you know, and you want to ask them, hey, when was the last time you did this? Okay. This isn't the inside courses right here that say what, why, and how. Grant's going to break it all down for you. And then you're going to go into your deal. And so now once you've figured out, hey, how can I really sell this guy? Because that's exactly what you're doing inside the sales process. You're greeting them. Hey, my name's Dennis. I do tires. I work over here at Tire Co. and want to be able to service you. And then, hey, by the way, I noticed that you've been a client of ours since blah, blah, blah. When was the last time that you checked out these brand new series? Or I'm going to go into, hey, the last time we spoke was about 8 months ago. Typically the tires that we have, they get transitioned out from all the usage every 6 months. When was the last time you looked at those? When was the last time you had an inspection on the current tires that you have? That's where the fact finding comes in. And then what happens? Now the guy goes into, oh yeah, you know, we've been meaning to do that. We've been meaning to look at it. And then where are you at? What part of the process are you sitting in, Dennis? Now you're a salesperson, man. You put your salesperson hat on and you're in the presentation. And this is right inside the piece of the program that I just showed you. This is how you maximize your presentation. And so for you called up asking, hey, dude, how do I learn this skill of transitioning from an account manager into, dude, now I want to slam dunk this guy into a sale because he needs it.
Yeah.
How do I put the LeBron James on this dude? That's what Dennis called up to ask, and it's right inside sales process, right? And so, man, Dennis, thank you very much for calling up. I really appreciate that. Guys, look, if you have questions just like what Dennis has, I want you to call in 305-865-8668. When you guys call in, we're going to handle all the questions that you have. So what he was talking about was, you know, look, I'm not really a salesperson. Like when I give somebody a business card, it doesn't say sales on it. But man, I got an opportunity to sell some stuff. You should be looking at that in every single position inside your company. So whether you work in an accounting department, whether you work in a shipping department, you work in an account management department, you want to make some extra money, you want to figure out how to do that. Well, at some point, man, you got to transition into the next deal where maybe I'm taking somebody's order, maybe I'm handling their deal and I'm servicing them, yet I know a lot about the product. So I can be able to say, hey, wait a minute. You know, I got this like light going off in my head. I'm like, hey man, this guy needs something else. We have something else. Now you want to transition in. That's what you're going to find inside fact finding. If you learn that, you master it, you're going to be able to make these transitions and roll somebody into a place who probably wasn't calling your company to buy a product. So for you business owners, for you managers, okay, what I want you to think with is, look, how much are we focusing on that right now in our business? And I want you to call our office. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you the boot camp that we actually use to transition people from maybe an account management situation to, hey, how do we get some extra sales in the company? And if you're a salesperson, I want you to take the exact same steps that I just told you today. Okay? Do the sales process. Dig deep. When you do dig deep, I want you to do this. I want you to take your notes. I want you to write down your sales process. I want you to get so curious about this content. I want you to think, dude, hey, what is Grant saying right here? What does he mean in this video? Okay, there's a couple hundred videos right here. Why is this piece of the program so big? Okay, guys, this is the backbone to your sales process. This is the backbone to you getting deals. And if you don't have a strong backbone, you guys are just working on these other areas and you're skipping the sales process, man, so much opportunity is being missed for you. And so that's why we come to you here every single week, because we got people who are saying, hey, look, they're raising their hands. They're saying, hey, I got a problem in this area. And so we want to be able to handle it for you. So every single Wednesday, guys, we are going to come to you live. We're going to come to you with the Cardone University Mastermind call. If you have questions, you can always call in. So if you guys give us a call here, you want to send in your questions, we're going to answer them for you. We're going to handle them because, look, our goal is to help you identify that, hey, look, I made $1 million investment in me. Or if you're a business owner, look, I made $1 million investment in my company because, look, you're doing the part that most people do not do, which is the skill up part. They don't ever do the homework. They don't ever do this part where they sit down and they look at, hey, what's going on in my sales process? How do I get more deals? How do I get more opportunities? And then when you skill up and you get your skills right and you're able to increase your income, now you're sitting here looking at this deal right here. Hey, this $1 million deal, now that I've got my skills up, this $1 million deal is real for me. Okay. Number one, I made the decision. I invested in the program. Now I'm starting to make some money because I'm getting my deals tight. I'm getting things going well. And then what? Hey, how do I take it right here? And then how do I multiply it? So guys, look, if you haven't got the Playbook to Millions, go check out playbooktomillions.com. That's a product that we have right now that's going to match up with the Cardone University. So we're getting everything right for you guys. Every single Wednesday, we're going to come to you live. Wednesday, 2 p.m. I'm Steve Spray. I'm going to come to you every single week helping you guys out. I want to help make you millions. Guys, have an unbelievable week, and we'll talk to you next week.